Mesa, the 405 northbound coming up at Harbor. A crash has been reported in middle lane. Watch for a slow drive getting away from just about Bristol. Also, we're looking at some slow traffic on the 91 in Anaheim Hills. Eastbound delays from Weir Canyon to Green River. And it's tough into the Cajon Pass. 15 northbound leaving Sierra Avenue. Delays continuing all the way to the 138. Even the southbound side of the 15 flows from just about the escape ramp. Delays taking you ahead towards Cleghorn.
Joe Buck and John Smoltz welcoming you back to the City Center Convenience
What up,
Store.
niece?
She's looking at the cigarettes, but she just grabs the gum off the counter. Stand Up to Cancer and Rally want you to reduce your risk for cancer. Go to takeahealthystand.org.
I got the champagne. Everybody can laugh.
Tavis Smiley is now ranked number 16 nationally and the highest rated talk show hosted by an African American on the 2025 Talkers Heavy 100 list of the most important talk radio hosts in the nation. Last year, Tavis ranked number 33, and the year before, number 45. The Tavis Smiley Show has rapidly expanded its national syndication to now include nearly 50 radio stations across the country and counting. Congratulations, Tavis.
Hey, so I'm calling your show, 'cause I need to know. Show me which way to go before I throw my man out the door.
Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on, because it takes two to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story.
So she's driving me insane, got stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games, and I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice.
Get in here, hit that like button, please. What up, what up?
My free game of today is this. You are not a power couple just because one person has a lot of money in a relationship and you just look good. That does not make you a power couple. A power couple is a couple that gets greater when we combine each other. When we combine our resources, we get better. But if me and you were to separate today or tomorrow, my lifestyle wouldn't change much. You're not a power couple because you bring nothing to the table but your looks. If anything, we're a power struggle because I have to carry your weight. I have to carry your load. Anybody in a relationship, if your husband, if your wife, if your boyfriend or your girlfriend falls off, you should be stable enough to carry their load. That's what makes you a power couple. That's what separates the strong from the weak. You're not a power couple, you're a power struggle. If you have a hustler and a leech, you're sucking the life out of me. And if anybody is dealing with a lopsided, right, a financially lopsided situation, you have to get out of that. You can never grow trying to carry another adult 100%. Straight like that. It will never work. I don't care how much money you have, it will become draining. Power couples win separately so we can win united. Am I lying?
Who is that? I don't even know who that is. Sound like he was in the park somewhere just talking. Oh my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, the VOR is back in the building. In the name of sweet baby Ray's barbecue sauce. I really don't know what's going on. I don't. I am Truth Hurts 357 on TikTok. Well, okay. Thank you for your contribution, Truth Hurts. We're about to start an entirely new series. You know, a few weeks ago, we had a series on the spiritual aspect of relationship. And now starting today with today's episode 1, and you'll understand a little bit more about why that clip was played. Again, I'm hearing it when you're hearing it, and sometimes it just flabbergasts me, just to hear certain things, but it's fine. The series is called the Relationship Hustle Culture series, right? How hustle culture impacts our perception on the reality of relationship with self and others. Now, today's topic, the corporate relator. See, I don't know if y'all, what is hustle culture? We're going to find out. The number to dial is 1-800-920-1580. Hustle culture is typically defined in corporate and entrepreneurial spaces as an attitude or culture of success by any means necessary. Think 50. Get rich or die trying. It is typically characterized by poor mental and physical health from lack of self-care and overworking and inevitable burnout. What is the spiritual ramification behind adopting hustle culture in an intimate context? Yeesh, I don't even know what to tell you guys. Listening to that guy talk, again, do you see what happens when you have no spiritual compass for your relationship? Please understand what I'm saying. I'm not talking about a dogmatic religious compass. I'm talking about a spiritual compass. People come into your life to reveal certain aspects of yourself to yourself, and this is how you gain self-knowledge through the holographic mirror of relationship, right? Those who are closest to you are supposed to trigger you, right? Those triggers are mirrors that wake up old wounds that need reconciliation. But when you haven't done any of that work, the hustle, the grind, the accumulation of things actually establishes your worth to yourself and to other people. Are you dating a corporate relator? Episode 1, the Relationship Hustle series. It begins now. Love is labor. How hustle culture hijacked intimacy, hollowed out the heart, and branded the self. Ooh, my goodness. In the sterile fluorescent glow of the boardroom, the human heart has become just another spreadsheet cell that is measurable, monetizable, and managed. This is not hyperbole. This is the metaphysics of modern relationship. Hustle culture, once confined to capitalist enterprise, now slithers itself into the bloodstream of intimacy, disguising effort as love, branding performance as presence, resonance, and laundering trauma through the language of optimization. Welcome to the era of the corporate relator. Oh, Lord. Where love is negotiated like a salary and benefits package. Vulnerability is pitched like a personal brand. And dating is less about discovery than it is about data management. What school did you go to? Where do you work? How much money you make? Where do you live? Do you have a car? Can you afford this? Can we travel? Can we? In this new ontology of relating, capitalism doesn't just dictate your paycheck, it scripts your personality. What is hustle culture? On the surface, hustle culture masquerades as ambition. Beneath the grind, it is a pathology, a collective agreement to disown presence in exchange for productivity. As Carolyn Donner observes, right, we are tired as hockey puck, right? Not simply from labor, but from the constant performance of worth. This fatigue does not pause at the office door. It follows us home. It sneaks into the bedroom. It dictates the rules of romantic engagement. Even our intimacy is optimized. Let me slip in this little piece of time with you before I get to my next meeting. It's only going to be 7 minutes, but we got to make the best of it. Krishnamurti warned us, it is no measure of health to be well adjusted to a profoundly sick society, yet our relationships are now mirror images of that very sickness. We do not fall in love, we invest. We do not relate, we transact. Ooh, the relational algorithm. I know you don't want to hear it put this way. Branded love and the disappearing self. In this economy of identity, the self we bring into relationship is rarely sovereign. Uh-oh. 1-800-920-1580. 1-800, I know these topics trigger you, but damn it, that's what I'm here for. It's rarely sovereign. It is a trauma-forged avatar, right? A Christian Dior mask. Charismatically hollow, aesthetically strategic, market tested through childhood wounds and social metrics. We do not share ourselves, we launch them. Swiping becomes the new sacrament of intimacy. Chemistry becomes dopamine. Compatibility, commodification. As I noted once before in one of my books, we no longer relate, we transact. Oof. The power couple is not a spiritual union, but a co-branded campaign. I'm not talking about anybody in particular, B and J and B. Relationship is no longer a mystery to unfold. It is a merger to manage. The spreadsheet replaces the sacred. Devotion becomes deliverables. Boundaries, once sacred rights of individuation, are now monetized buzzwords. Right? They no longer emerge from intuition or energy, but from fear-based management systems. Oh my goodness. I don't feel safe becomes code for you're off-brand. Are you dating a relationship realtor? Huh? We perform empathy. We monetize trauma. We curate our triggers into content. As Alfred Korzybski's linguistic theory, general semantics, and E' remind us, our language locks us in identity contracts we never consented to. He is toxic becomes an ontological prison for both speaker and subject, no longer experiencing just labeling. What are the spiritual implications? When the soul becomes a sales funnel, what are we doing? Where are we going? What is this about? What's the end result? What's the end result? be the same in a metaphorical sense as a CEO saying, what's the bottom line? A CEO is legally bound to protect the bottom line. Are you legally bound to protect or spiritually bound to protect your own bottom line? Which is, what am I getting out of this? To hustle is to hemorrhage spirit in slow, socially acceptable ways. Hustle culture tries to do by force what the universe does through frequency. Mistaking striving for attunement and mistaking marketing for magnetism. Dr. David R. Hawkins would calibrate this frequency at the lower levels of consciousness, rooted in not love, but in survival, shame, and pretense. The most profound spiritual casualty of this cultural indoctrination is the erosion of presence. Right? I signed up for the metrics, not the meaning. I don't care about the meaning of myself when I have enough money to forget about me altogether. I can purchase the best distractions in the world. Ooh. The relationships now are built like empires. We no longer rest in love. You know that. We commodify the divine, right? We spiritualize mediocrity, right? We call trauma manifestation blocks and over-functioning self-worth. And so we confuse intensity with intimacy, branding with belonging, chemistry with codependence, deserving with divine grace. Do you see what capitalism, consumerism, materialism, and the constant hustle and grind for more and more has done to intimate relationships? The central lie: love must be earned. Hustle culture whispers, you must become to be loved. Listen to, you must become to be loved. But this is the real, original lie. Real intimacy, as Pema Chodron teaches, requires nothing but presence. Do you know how uncomfortable people are being present in the moment? Being present with their partner, totally psychologically nude? Do you know how uncomfortable most people are? It asks for your unmarketable self, your bored self, your off-brand self, your unoptimized, trembling, uncaptioned being. To love outside of hustle culture is to unhustle the nervous system, to sit in silence, not performance. It is to love as devotional physics, not psychological currency, to relate as presence, not product. You get the money, you think the woman is a product. The woman gets picked up as the product, she's still searching for agency by performing his therapist, his nurturer, his lover, his friend, his confidant. When we come forward, are you struggling with hustle love? Let's go. Niece, did I frame it up right? Niece, did I frame it up right? Is it framed up right? Where are my people in here? did. Is it framed? Where the rest of y'all? Is it right? Do you understand what we're talking about? A fucking one. Hey, who was in here for the Zo What morning show earlier today? Zo What was crazy. Yes. Yes, Ida. Yes, Ida. Everybody hit the like button. This is the current temperature of today's dating scene, unfortunately. I only caught 20 minutes. Well, you caught the first 20 minutes of the show, Diamond Blue. So you heard what everybody else heard. Yeah, first 20 minutes. Everybody, please hit the like button. The likes are a necessity. We need them. Hey, can I get y'all to call in today? It's Monday. First day of the week. We need to talk to our people. Can I get y'all to call in and talk to me today? It's Monday. First day of the week. I need to talk to my folks. And everybody hit the like button. 13 people haven't done it yet. Thank you, Attila, for putting in my Cash App. That's, if you guys feel free, want to do it, I'd appreciate it. I'm staying on point. Did you see the show earlier today? True Monger, I'm that part. Need to go see the doctor every 3 months if you're active. Yup. Crazy show today. Crazy show. 8 more people. Hit that like button. Let's get it to match. 7 more people. The likes got to match the amount of people, or it has to be more likes. I stumbled onto a post from the spring chick talking about, say you like surprises, don't say you like stuff or nice things. That way you can.
Trying to change matter, and you want this experience in three-dimensional reality, it's going to take a lot of time and energy because your brain's going to say, I know you. It's going to take a lot of doing back and forth until you finally have the experience. And when you have the experience, the emotion that's created from the experience
takes away the lack or separation from not having it. So in three-dimensional reality, we create from lack or separation. You see someone with a sports car, you see someone with a wardrobe, and you look at it and your brain automatically goes, I want that because I don't have it. So we create in three-dimensional reality based on lack. And so the brain has the image, I want one of those, it puts it in the future, and then we have to work really hard. And for matter, trying to change matter, we force outcomes, we control outcomes, we try to predict outcomes, we compete for outcomes. There are only a certain number of resources that we can do in three-dimensional reality to get what we want. If you're
Can you imagine trying to manifest a person in the same way that you try to manifest a vehicle? Yes, a vehicle satiates certain desires. You know, I want to go fast. I want a German car. I want this and that. Can you imagine trying to manifest a person, right, that actually takes away all of the work you must do on yourself? Many of us are looking for the partner that will make it all better, not knowing that all roads lead inward for healing, for self-understanding. You acquire the optimum partner according to broken desires. That only perpetuates more brokenness. So who are you without the hustle? Who are you as a being, right? When the resume burns, when the brand dissolves, when the algorithm has no match, what remains? Who shows up without a role to play? Who stays when the performance fails? Oh man, there's so many love liars out there. Oh, so many people married to love liars. Ooh. So many people are in cohabitation with love liars. I know you don't want to hear it. You think conquering the world will lead to conquering the heart, the soul, the shadow, but that's not true. The world is a lie. Jesus told you that. It was a disrespectful gift offered to him by Satan. Remember, took him on top of the hill and said, hey, everything that you see is yours if you would just submit to me. Come on, this is a weak gift from a weak spirit and a weak entity. Come on, man. And this is the life we live today. We are relational intimacy relators, right? Wait, my topic again. I forgot the name of the topic. Just that I know I got 30 seconds. I'm trying to get it in. This is not a relationship seminar. This is a revolution tonight. The revolution will not be optimized. The voice of reason is going to the phone lines when we come forward. But listen to what I have to say. If you're not ready to get real, I don't know what to tell you, but I'm ready to get real. When we come forward, we're going to Houston, Texas, Mountain View, Hawaii. If there's any other city that wants to get on board, 1-800-920-1580.
It's on fire tonight. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
The corporate relator. That's the topic. Hey, I see it's hitting right. I'm stand on point. It's hitting right? This thing slapping, right? Yeah, it's gonna get hella wild. It's gonna get hella wild, trust me. Hey, And I could talk to y'all. Hey, that syndication shit is real. I sent some shit to Attila. I let Attila see it. Is that syndication shit real, Attila, or no? The voice of reason. Woo! I don't want to give up too much game. How long is this show here on KBLA? Does anybody know? How long does this show last? Double it.
Last year, Tavis ranked number 33, and the year before, number 45. The Tavis Smiley Show has rapidly expanded its national syndication to now include nearly 50 radio stations across the country and counting. Congratulations, Tavis.
Hey, what bandwidth are we on KBLA Talk 1580? What bandwidth are we on? You know, there's two bandwidths for radio, terrestrial radio. What bandwidth are we on here? Anybody know? Hey, what's the other bandwidth? Boom, Jack Brazen. This shit about to be fucking nuts. Hey, this shit about to be absolutely insane. Forward them things. Aaron on Frank and Murray. Aaron on Frank Murray. Forward them things. Aaron on Frank Murray. Hey, I'm not playing. I'm not playing. My niece knows how to trigger me. She be like, send that to him. What? This shit is happening out here? For real? Be right back with you. That's what I be on. That's what I be on. And see, I was kind of scraping by it today on the morning show, but I don't want to give up too much of it.
Okay. I am not a fan of weaponizing my strength. And you hear a lot of conversations that position strength as the enemy, but it's not. I don't know how we went from understanding that generations before us used to suppress to now weaponizing strength as if that was ever the real issue. Strength was never the problem. Suppression was. Back then, people didn't have the space or the language for emotional processing. So yes, what we saw was survival, silence, grit, and get it done energy. It was strength, but without emotional capacity, right? They knew how to hold it together, but not always how to feel their ways through stuff. We forgot that strength can be healthy, that it can be deeply felt, that it can come with softness, self-trust, and stillness and not shut down. What's toxic is when people are forced to suppress. But what's powerful is when they've built the capacity to hold life without being consumed by it. So no, strength is not the enemy. It's what allows you to keep showing up fully present and without falling apart. Strength is not toxic. Suppression is what's toxic.
Come on, Raquel. Come on. Let's normalize people not having to be strong all the time. Listen. Big Mama's strength made her a superhero. I'm sorry. Come on. Mama's strength made her a superhero. Strength is not the enemy here. So what do? We swing all the way to the other side. It's just like attachment theory. When somebody in attachment theory, say you have an insecure attachment style, and now you become aware of it. Say you're anxious preoccupied. And then somebody, you meet an avoidant and they break your heart. They hurt you in some way. And then you swing avoidant all the way to the other side. It's like an overcompensation, right? Well, this is what happens with these types of relationships here with the corporate relator, right? Hey, man. Or not only with the corporate relator, but also with what Raquel was saying about resilience and strength. I need the soft life now. Strength is the bad guy. So now my relationships must be built on stimulation, activities, escapism, and end result, somebody giving me what I want instead of me healing what's within me. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's a real situation that we tend to ignore. in intimate relationships. The corporate relator must die in order for love to live. To dismantle the hustle self is to remember that connection was never a skill set. It was a state of being. Intimacy was not an asset to manage. It was a temple to remember. And you were never meant to be marketed. You were meant to be met where you are. Hold on, Zoe. You were meant to be met where you are. When was the last time somebody met you where you are? I didn't say condescend to where you are or had to climb up the ladder. When was the last time somebody met you where you were, where you are? When love becomes labor, how hustle culture rebranded intimacy as emotional capital. What? Hustle culture and relationships, emotional labor and dating, capitalism and intimacy, transactional love? Here's your philosophical insight. Krishnamurti taught that the self is a conditioned performance. Under hustle culture, love becomes the stage on which the false self earns love. I don't have to earn your love if I am love. And you don't have to earn mine if you are love. Oh no. Love is soft shoe tap dancing with little Coach purses and Jordans for him. What? Psychological insight. As Ross Rosenberg suggests, codependency morphs into emotional productivity. Partners become roles, not reflections. Gosh, roles, not reflections. Your spiritual and metaphysical insight, Dr. David R. Hawkins, would place performance-based love in a low vibrational field below 200 on his consciousness grid, right? Where striving replaces presence. Listen, most of you people with everything in the bank and everything in the garage and everything in the refrigerator, most of y'all are still in survival mode because you're striving to deal with yourself while dealing with the hidden self of another who's in relationship with you. The hidden you striving. You striving to deal with that. The hidden you. And then they're striving to deal with the hidden version of themselves. And y'all in a relationship with everything. Y'all got everything now. 1-800-920-1580. The clinical and empirical insight here. Research on emotional labor confirms the burnout of managing feelings in service of social or romantic performance. Have you ever been with somebody you had everything you ever wanted with? Just not them? You wanted somebody else? And the act you had to keep up? Oh, no. Are y'all ready for tonight? You tell me, are you ready for what we're doing? The revolution, the intimacy revolution will not be optimized. You understand me? It will not be optimized. Listen, when I come forward, I'm going to the phone line. It's going to be amazing. I know the discussion that you guys are ready to have is going to be off the chart. We're talking about the corporate relator. That's episode 1 of the Relationship Hustle series.
The VOR, and I know you're tired of pretty gems with pretty lies, where people seem to scroll more than they sweat. Well, it's time to level up. Welcome to Huff and Puff, where excuses die and champions rise. Smack dab at 1221 North La Brea on the corner of Fairview. This ain't a photo shoot, it's a battleground. Certified achievers in the game. Trainers who grind with you, not post pictures beside.
Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for showing up. Thank you guys for the likes. Who did
This is your sanctuary.
who did I block?
No mirrors, no
Let me see if I can get him back.
fluff, just pain, passion, and purpose. Stop talking.
I don't.
Start
Nah.
training. Huff hard, puff loud, be legendary. Where folks go to war with their weaknesses. Huff and Puff.
I don't think I can get him back.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep.
Was he trolling or not? Because every time I see a Seymour Butts, they be trolling.
And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts.
That's what I thought. Nah, he said something about go get a job. And whenever I hear that, I'll be like, nigga, I'm at work. You're in here. Bye-bye. I don't give a fuck who that was for. What happened in New York, in NYC? Oh, that's right. I did see that. The shooting. And some officers and some people got killed. What up, Lloyd Hinton?
You can't transform yourself. You can't make yourself sane, you can't make yourself loving, you can't make yourself unselfish. And yet it's absolutely necessary that we be that way. It's absolutely necessary. If we are going to hand over the direction of nature to nature, which is what it comes to, it's absolutely necessary that we let go of ourselves, and it can't be done. Not by anything that we call doing it, acting, willing, or even just accepting things. You can't do it. Why? Because you don't really exist as that kind of a separate ego or personality. It's just an idea based on a phony feeling. So when it comes down to it, it's shocking news for us, for the human race, for our pride. You're only making a mess by trying to put things straight. You're trying to straighten out a wiggly world, and no wonder you're in trouble. So you can't do anything. So you can't transform yourself. And what can you do? What happens then if you actually realize you've come to a dead end? And the human race has come to a dead end, in my opinion. What then? Commit suicide? Or is there something else? What happens when you just wait? There's nothing you can do. And watch. And all you see is what goes on that is happening of itself. You're breathing, the wind is blowing, the trees are waving, your blood is circulating, your nerves are tingling. It's all going on. Hey, listen, Allan Watts is describing presence. Listen, we put profits over presence, metrics over meaning, deliverables over this true center in our beings, right? This center that I'm speaking of is connected to the foundational reality of all existence. Some religious folk call it God, but we think it's too hard to find within ourselves, so we go on a lifelong journey outside of ourselves. We look for it in churches, temples, books, ideas, concepts, people. And the one place that's the most frightening to look at, which is within ourselves, we never look at. So in doing that, we figure, well, let's partner up with somebody that shares our same beliefs. The power couple delusion. Why shared hustle doesn't equal sacred union. Come on, we're running our relationships like they're a corporation, the corporate relator. That's our topic tonight. Let me get to my brother John from Mountain View, Hawaii. John, what are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Greetings and blessings to the chat. Greetings and blessings to all. Much love to you, Joe, in this show.
Same to you, brother.
But let's begin with the madness.
The madness. Let me get out your way. Go ahead.
No. First off, I don't want to speak on anything because I want it to be true. And if it is true with the FM and the 4 hours, you got to do some hiring, and it needs to be your niece first. I'm just saying.
Now, listen, what if I was just sharing with you and y'all in the chat, and then you go put it on the radio?
That's what I'm saying.
No, knock it off.
Bro.
It ain't true until it's true.
We don't be hiring folks. You need to hire your people.
Damn it, John. You can't keep a secret, John. Go ahead, John.
I didn't say I was supposed to. But anyway, let's get to the Okay, there's nuance in certain things, and you're going to start by apologizing to God by saying, the devil who pointed out to the rest of the world saying, this is yours if you bend the knee, and you said we was cheap. As the person that died recently, Malcolm Jamal Warner, how did he affect all of these different souls if he was on the cheap side again?
Oh, got you. Yeah. Malcolm Jamal Warner.
Respectful.
Yeah.
Respectfully.
Go ahead.
Because again, a soul is a soul. If it's lost, it's a bad thing.
Right.
Regardless of it being abortion or it be somebody at their old age, that soul is missing. That is entirely on the spectrum, on the very same thing we're talking about, which is the spiritual side of the game. Now more nuance. If I find a woman who I could trust with $2 million, and after I get back from whatever I got going on, jail or otherwise, she makes that $6 million, doesn't that make her worthy of being able to stay with you? We're talking about hustle, right?
Keep going. I'm listening. I'm in deep thought as you speak. Go ahead, brother.
I'm just saying, these are the things that bare minimum. It's not the majority. It is the minority. It is not the spectrum. It is the few. And those that find it, which again, speak to most millionaires who may have been through a divorce, but even the very same millionaire, everybody is saying, oh my God, if she can find a good one, then I can find mine too, ma'am. She was worth $30 million when she married him, the CEO of Amazon. So what you trying to really hustle is, oh Lord, let me not cuss. But anyway, I'm just saying, there's nuance to virtually everything that we can find. I'm not trying to argue the point.
No.
I'm just trying to bring out points that maybe somebody might have not understood.
Right.
Once again, I know my Jesus don't need defending, but that's my dude. I'm gonna get on him.
That's the homie. Come on. But not nobody say nothing bad.
I'm gonna say the same thing for any soul out here in this world that deserves defending, which is every soul. And I did that for 20 years. So excuse me while I say once again, here's the warrior. I'm back. Old man survived the battlefield. I'm here. But nonetheless, you're worth it. Everybody's worth it. But again, let's not come to the table with the wrong tools again. We're at the wrong table. Stay away from this table.
Move away from that damn table. Move.
Push you out of this doggone chair. What's wrong with you?
Hey, John, guess what you just did, man?
Mountain View's in the house. Blessings to all. Love you too, big bro.
Always, man. Mountain View is in the building. You heard what he said. Get away from that table. Hey, the voice of reason is on complete fire, live from KBLA Talk 1580. When we come forward, let's slide on down to Houston, Texas, and see what they talk about down south. John out here snitching. What if Tavis is listening to the radio like they do? He just told me all that today, and I spoke in code. I spoke in code. I didn't say nothing. I said, how long is this show? Y'all answer. I said, 4 of them things. Can't hold water. But I love him. Fuck it. It's out there. Fuck it then. Can y'all please help Pretty Brown Mimi with today's topic? Please. Can you guys give her a brief primer? If everybody got one thought or one concept from the show, can everybody just at Mimi their thought or their takeaway from the show? I'll be right back. Damn it, Lloyd. Thank you, brother, for the Cash App. That's our one and only Cash App for this show. And I'm appreciative. Thank you, brother. It's your favorite subject, money and relationship. Money in relationship, how it's influenced, corporate relationship versus genius ones that don't involve trick. Hey, and one thing for sure. Genuine relationship. Neek is the night. What up? Three people said three different things. The corporate relator. It's talking about how people treat their relationships like a business, corporations, transactionalism, the lack of empathy. I'm gonna reframe it again.
Financial infidelity. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this gonna be crazy.
How about this? The child wasn't his, and he still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
Oh, is that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I was like the kid that this could be way up there. I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed. Hit you with a bad life routine. How does he maintain his pomposity?
I feel when it pinches my nip.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a Karate man rules on the inside. They're gonna show their weaknesses.
Yeah.
How do you make women so well?
So William, reason and accountability. The voice of reason.
I think the evidence for that's actually quite clear. There is, by the way, a relationship. This is something I didn't point out before. There is a relationship between wealth and happiness. It's quite well defined in the psychological literature. Now, it's not exactly obvious whether the happiness measures are measures of happiness or whether they're measures of the absence of misery. And my sense is, as a psychometrician who's looked at these scales, that people are more concerned with not being miserable than they are with being happy. Separate emotional states mediated by different psychobiological systems. Right. It's a technical point, but it's an important one. There is a relationship between absolute level of income and self-reported lack of misery or happiness. And it's pretty linear until you hit, I would say, something approximating decent working class income. And so what seems to happen is that wealth makes you happy as long as it keeps the bill collectors at bay. Like once you've got to the point where the misery is staved off as much as it can be by the fact that you're not in absolutely economically dire straits, then adding more money to your life has no relationship whatsoever to your well-being. So it's clear that past a certain minimal point, additional material provision is not sufficient to, let's say, redeem us individually or socially. And it's certainly the case that the radical wealth production that characterizes capitalism might produce a fatal threat to the structure of our social systems and our broader ecosystems. Who knows? I'm not absolutely convinced of that for a variety of reasons. I mean, Zizek pointed out, for example, that there are more forests in Europe now than there were 100 years ago. There's actually more forests in the entire northern hemisphere than there were 100 years ago. And the news on the ecological front is not as dismal as the people who put out the most dismal news would have you think. And there is some possibility. That doesn't mean that there aren't elements of it that are dismal. You know, what we've done to the oceans is definitely something catastrophic, and we definitely have our problems. But it is possible that human ingenuity might solve that. What else? There are inequalities generated by capitalism, a proclivity towards a shallow materialism, the probability of corruption. The thing about that for me is those are catastrophes that are part of the struggle for human existence itself and not something to be laid at the feet of any given socio-political system, especially one that seems to be producing a fair modicum of wealth for the poorest section of the population and raising people up to the point where
their lives aren't unending.
Did you hear the nuance? The nuance in what he said. We hustling, which is a form of surviving, to keep to stave the bill collectors off. Man, I know so many 100 millionaires, billionaire folk, and a lot of them miserable internally. Sure, you never have to think about the Netflix bill ever again. You never have to think about HBO Max or your favorite yogurt, fruit, and granola combo. Say, we got that goat milk yogurt, the goat milk. Yeah. You never have to worry about that when you have money, right? But money and the accumulation of it, the incessant accumulation of it, doesn't always equate to meaning, right? Right? Accumulating the world's finest of everything doesn't always equate to meaning. We're in hour number 2, live on KBLA Talk 1580. I'm the voice of reason, the VOR, Zoe Williams. And this is our new series. It's going to be 4 episodes. We're going to cook all week long. This is episode 1. The series is called the Relationship Hustle Culture Series. How hustle culture impacts our perception on the reality of relationship with ourselves and others. Episode 1, the corporate relator. Are you dating that person where everything is outcome based, right? What am I getting out of this? What did I sign up for? Do you understand what I'm saying? I keep telling you guys, man, we miss this point and we don't emphasize it enough. Everybody has a relationship blog. Everybody has a relationship talk show. And all they could talk about is their direct experience and how they observe and judge other people based on their direct relationship experience. You got people talking about you can't talk about relationships unless you're married. That's a lie. If you go to school and become a relationship scientist, i.e. a clinical psychologist, a psychiatrist, if you go study relationships, the behaviors, the mindsets, the mental patterns, you do the research, you study the socioeconomic impact, you can talk ad infinitum about relationships. Sorry. Every human being was born into a relationship. The first one with his mama, the next one with his daddy, and the next one with the rest of his family. Then the relationship with society. You got to stop making marriage the Super Bowl of relationship when most people are still afraid to look at themselves and accept themselves as they are. You would go hop the broom, broken and unindividuated, dooming that damn relationship to hell. You would rather keep it a secret like it's a STD. I ain't telling nobody I'm unindividuated. You jump right into it. And you think just because you did it that you won. You didn't win. You ruined another life plus your own. Oh, no, I know y'all don't want to hear it put that way. But the Lord told me to tell y'all the truth this evening. Huh? You want to run out there and just jump a broom. Boy, you got something to sweep inside your soul. Your soul is dusty. You got cobwebs. You got all type of mess in your spirit. But you'll put on a tuxedo, won't you? Huh? Yes, you will. You put that corsage on, won't you, huh? That cummerbund. You'll jump right over that broom. Don't even know how to be psychologically nude. This is what these topics are about. Come on. Capitalism has negatively impacted American society when it comes to intimate relationships. It's a fact. They're teaching it in university. It's a fact. What's one of the negative impacts? Sure, we could talk about the positive impact. Sure, people with money seem to be a little bit happier. No, they're just peaceful because they've been able to keep the bill collectors at bay. But are they happy, content, loving, compassionate? Some, but a lot aren't. But some of the negative aspects of capitalism: it creates transactional relationships. Don't act like that's not a real thing. Broken selves, broken bonds. Branded selves, broken bonds. How capitalism has curated your love life. Identity, curated identity in dating. Capitalism and authenticity. Trauma bonding and branding. Self-marketing in relationships. A lot of people don't know, man. This is real stuff that's happening in our lives on a daily basis. Swipe culture, soul loss, how algorithmic affection erased the sacred in connection. Dating apps and soul connection and algorithmic intimacy, digital relationships and detachment, swipe culture psychology. This is all happening right now. What are you talking about? You'd rather be married, fail, get a divorce, and say, well, at least I did it to know what it's about. You don't know what it's about. The only time you know what true union and communion is about is when you first integrate your own shadow. That's the first communion. Then, as a whole person, magnetize another whole person into your life, then get married. You could be talking to a single psychologist, not married, not in a relationship, with no kids, and they'll lead you back to them damn wounds you've been ignoring. You don't know nothing about marriage. That psychologist will sit your tail down, and if you allow them, will walk you back to that damn wound that keep you breaking up with people. Oh, you cute. You're attractive, you got some money, but you can't seem to hold on to nobody. Oh, because there's a lot of junk in your spirit that's not reconciled. A single psychologist without a man or a woman could walk you back to that damn wound. Oh, no, you didn't want to hear it put that way, right? Okay. Trauma survivors often confuse boundaries with defensiveness. Protection becomes preemptive rejection. True boundaries emerge from wholeness, not fear. Hustle culture monetizes spiritual language to preserve dysfunction. Your clinical insights, clinical studies reveal increased relational conflict when boundaries are performative and not co-regulated. How many of you are married as a trauma-forged avatar? What? What is a trauma-forged avatar? How hustle culture makes us fail in love through false selves. Married and all. You got the ring. I keep telling you, that ring don't mean a damn thing unless you are what it symbolizes. Many people aggrandize the symbol, but they ain't got what the symbol symbolizes. The symbol is like a stop sign. That ring on your finger is like a stop sign. Oh, there, stop. That's what the sign means. It's a symbol to stop. That 360-degree ring around your left hand, that left finger ring, you know what it should say? It should say, this represents, through thick and thin, love unconditionally for myself and my mate. Our wounds are our wounds. Our victories are our victories. Our losses are our losses. Our lessons learned are our lessons learned. See, wait a minute. Hold on. You married a trauma-forged avatar? Yes, you did. Huh, you sure damn did. And guess what? Some people stay in them damn relationships for 10, 20, 15 years. And we thought that that was a good relationship because they stayed. Some people get the hell up out of those relationships in 90 days. 1 year. What happened? They broke up because you married a trauma-forged avatar. How hustle culture. Sometimes your wife or your husband ain't nothing but some type of jewelry, some type of trophy to be flaunted around. Look how cute she is. Look how gorgeous he is. Look, he got talent. Oh my goodness, the boy can sing, rap, dance, and pop lock. This boy's special. Oh, he got money. But guess what? All of that, you can have all of that and still be empty. And when you find out you married a trauma-forged avatar, and you feel like, hey, guess what? If I leave, I'll have nothing. Ooh. Sometimes it's cheaper to continue to perform. Ooh. Oh, I can't leave this. This is a good life. The trauma-forged avatar. How hustle culture makes us fall in love through false selves. Trauma bonding in modern dating. False self in relationships. Relational avatars, curated connection, and trauma. Your philosophical piece is from Allan Watts yet again. He reminds us, trying to define yourself is like trying to bite your own teeth. The curated self is always an illusion. How many of you married an illusion? Huh? How many of you did that? Inner child wounds seek validation through persona creation. Love becomes a trauma reenactment loop. The avatar self is a karmic echo, not the soul expression. Listen, if you're not in relationship that's rooted in the true meaning of who you are not relating. You are reenacting. You are performing. If you're not in a relationship that is rooted in meaning, what is meaning? Do you know the meaning of yourself? Do you know your purpose? Do you, man? Or is that relationship merely a life raft? When I come forward, the voice of reason gonna keep cooking. We on one tonight, Andy.
Hey, you were on one in that one. That's why I extended them cords.
John Gilbreth, thank you. So you cooking tonight, on one indeed. Hey, when Andy let them we let them chords play them organs, I said, oh, Andy, he let it ride too. Andy said, hold on, we got to play this thing through. There's a lot of dusty souls out there. What up, yo? Are we good? What are your thoughts on tonight's topic? Talk to me. If you're not going to call in, talk to me. My YouTube is acting a fool over here. I'm sorry, brother. Cobweb spirits is crazy. Dusty souls. Damn, I'm staying on point. Who you calling a dummy? Attila, you better get ready because I'm coming right to you. A male family member told me that some men are afraid of marriage because they don't want to be broken financially. Yes, a lot of men are afraid of marriage because of that. Absolutely. First off, you have to understand how marriage is constructed. Marriage is the number one indicator of wealth in American society. But divorce is the number one indicator of poverty in American society.
Deeply misogynistic past until today, Western culture has very long normalized the hypersexualization of young women and treating them as less than human beings with inherent dignity. It treats them as objects for consumption. Studies show that by the age of 8, girls in the West are already internalizing societal messages about their appearance, about how their appearance is their primary source of value in that society. According to a 2021 report by the American Psychological Association, the sexualization of girls in the media, from music videos to advertising, has profound negative psychological effects on those girls, leading to depression, anxiety, low self-esteem, on and on and on. And then, like I said, you've got platforms like OnlyFans. That just further illustrates the point. It's marketed as empowering for women. These platforms are, in reality, digital brothels, where economic desperation and societal and cultural grooming converge. A 2022 study found that 50% of content creators on OnlyFans joined due to financial hardship, with many reporting feelings of regret and exploitation, despite the promise of financial autonomy. Pornography is a multi-billion-dollar industry, and that plays a central role in the normalization of sexual exploitation in the West. The average age of first exposure to pornography in the West is now just 11 years old. This early exposure skews young people's perception of healthy relationships, and it perpetuates harmful stereotypes about consent and about power dynamics in intimacy. That's your whole culture. The impact of this consumption is profound on your young people. It influences their individual behavior, and it influences societal norms. This is all reflective of the fundamentally amoral and immoral society of your culture, of your so-called civilization. That's your whole system. The commodification of women's bodies is not just a cultural issue, it's a cornerstone of an exploitative economic system and of a culture that has never valued women as full human beings, but only as objects for men to use at will. Films, music, and advertising, the advertising industry, marketing, and so forth, they glamorize youth and sexual availability while ridiculing modesty and ridiculing chastity.
Wow. Who is that? Andy? Very powerful work. And it was perfect.
Bolson.
Shahid Bolson. It was perfect to follow the Tupac record because he literally talked about it all. Right? Man, I'm here to tell y'all, man, having everything this world has to offer does not give you peace. Right? First, learning to love yourself, right? Learning to accept and approve of and appreciate and validate and empathize with the truth of who you are. That's step one to having a meaningful relationship with someone. That's step one. Do you see? We skip that step and go right to a person with silent contracts asking them to be our intimacy messiah. Save me from me. Save me, right? From the lack I feel internally. That came from my primary caregiver, early childhood. They didn't give me what I needed, so you do it. And if you give them any semblance of that, codependence. They get addicted to it. Or they push it away because that's the conditioning they may have had. The insecure attachment style may show up. They say, no, I don't want it, but I do want it. But do you see? So we think by conquering the world, we can conquer our wounds. No, we cannot. Right? When I come forward, the voice of reason is going to Houston, Texas to talk to my niece. She is the creator of tonight's series. We're going to get her thoughts on all of this when we come forward. Hey, brother John, thank you for the Cash App. If I didn't say thank you already, thank you for the Cash App. Appreciate you, bro. Tonight's show is stupid good. You like it? Got you, bro. I didn't remember if I said it or not. But thank you. 1580. That fish sandwich. That's funny.
Eric Fromm wrote, modern man lives under the illusion that he knows what he wants, while he actually wants what he is supposed to want. They fed you a life script. Get educated, but not too curious. Get employed, but not too passionate. Get married, but not too intimate. Get successful, but not too different. And you followed it. Perfectly. Which is why you feel perfectly empty. The education system taught you to value external validation over internal knowing. The corporate world taught you to value productivity over presence. The consumer culture taught you to value having over being. Layer by layer, the authentic self got buried deeper, until one day you woke up successful, accomplished, surrounded by people, and felt completely alone, because the person everyone loves isn't really you. But here's what's different about your generation's emptiness. It's been weaponized, turned into a business model. Your void is someone's profit margin. They know you feel empty, so they sell you fullness. They know you feel disconnected, so they sell you networks. But they also know you feel meaningless, so they manufacture purpose in convenient packages. But it's all synthetic. Digital connection that increases loneliness. Curated purposes that deepen meaninglessness. Purchased experiences that expand emptiness. You're not just empty. You're empty in a world designed to keep you that way. Wow. Because empty people are perfect consumers. Empty people are ideal workers. Empty people don't revolution. They just buy, comply, and die. The algorithms know your psychology better than you do. They can predict your behavior before you choose it. They can trigger your insecurities with surgical precision. Every platform is designed to make you feel inadequate, so you'll keep consuming. The real tragedy? You've been gaslit into believing the emptiness is your fault, that you're ungrateful, that you need more therapy, more healing, more work on yourself. But Krishnamurti saw through this. It is no measure of health to be well-adjusted to a profoundly sick society. Your emptiness isn't a personal failing. It's a sane response to an insane world. You feel fake because you're living in a fake system. You feel empty because you're full of things that don't matter. The void isn't the problem. The void is the solution trying to happen. It's the real you trying to break through the performance. Every time you choose fake over real, the void expands. Not as punishment, but as invitation. It's your authentic self creating space, hoping you'll finally listen. The more successful you become at society's game, the emptier you feel. Because success in a false system requires betraying the truth. And every betrayal deepens the divide between who you are and who you perform. Young understood, the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. But you can't become who you truly are while performing who you think you should be. You can't find meaning in meaningless systems. You can't discover purpose in purposeless pursuits. Here's what nobody tells you. The void can't be filled. It's not meant to be. The emptiness isn't a problem to solve. It's a doorway to walk through. Every attempt to fill it from the outside makes it larger, because you're trying to satisfy infinite depth with finite things. We're trying to answer existential questions with material solutions.
Oh God! Who in the Sam hell was that? Oh Lord! In the name of Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce. Ow! That's all we're talking about tonight. That's all. I keep trying to tell y'all, man, this relationship stuff is serious. And all we got, people on the internet, using spiritual language. I saw a clip today. A young lady sent it to me this morning. It was a sister that actually came from Orange County. She came from Orange County to come to the relationship roundtable that me and comedian Ray Grady held on May 31st of this year. And she sent me a clip, and the lady was saying stuff, you know, in a religious kind of spiritual way, and it was really a word salad. And I meant no disrespect, and I just told her, like, this is not how it works. Like, real work has to be done on the individual from the inside. You know, all this other, you know, fancy talk and women in there swooning and wooing over this lady, and it was really empty rhetoric with spiritual glaze on it. Right? We got to stop trying to escape the work. The partner isn't the escape. The partner, as the clip said, is the invitation. Right? We got Attila from Houston, Texas on the line. Attila, what are your thoughts on tonight's Oh, come on. You help orchestrate this mother of all bombs topic. This is the Moab topic. Come on. Talk to us now.
Yes, it is my brainchild. This is true. Well, so let me just say, I think one of the things that is crucial to this is the trade-off when it comes to the corporate relator, right? Because they basically are negotiating the authenticity for fiat currency. Some people would just call that work. They go to work, they do it every day, right? But this includes their relationships. And to me, when you think about the corporate relator, relationships are really just prime real estate that they can also bargain for.
Say more. Keep going, child. Say more now.
I mean, essentially, I think that, you know, it's kind of like Sinners, right, where it shows you that dichotomy, that everything has a price. There's always a certain bargain. And I think people not only take that information and use it as an advantage in corporate spaces, but they take this and they use it in relationships. And so it makes sense why we would do this, because the other side of the game is the spiritual side, and that work is a lot harder. It's a lot more painful. So if I can forego that and still get the image of being in a functional relationship, then why wouldn't I? You mentioned earlier about people making comments about, because I even saw somebody in the chat made a comment like, well, my question is, I mean, how you going to give relationship advice if you've never even been able to do it yourself? And I'm like, how many times have you watched a basketball game, a football game, of a coach, you know, for a team that's coached by somebody who's maybe never played the sport and nobody bats an eye?
Ooh.
And they win the championship and it's great, right?
You mean like Bruce Pearl, Eric Spoelstra? These are people that have never played the game, but coaching to championship. Keep going.
I don't know nothing about that. And I'm just saying all that to say that it's funny how we get very critical. We take a critical eye to advice and words of knowledge and wisdom that are given to us when it is painful. All of a sudden, we're very critical and critiquing. And had you use that same critique in your process of finding a mate, maybe you'd be in a better position. No shade. But I just say all that to say, you know, another key component of this corporate relator is that you're separating your connection to yourself, i.e. the design, right? Because again, this is a trade-off. And so when that clip is talking about being empty, I think about it. If I've never been fulfilled, if I've never felt loved or felt, how do I say, like just in a place of like peace, then I really don't even know what that is. So to be honest, maybe it's not so much that even people are buying into something as much as it is they're just transitioning to the next level. They've had a childhood full of abuse, full of neglect, full of this, full of whatever. So maybe they've never really just actually bought into love. They don't really know what authentic love is because they don't know what authentic self-expression is. And so that corporate relationship fits well with them because at the end of the day, that is their norm.
Wow.
Just a thought.
Wow. Come on. Hey, Attila. Guess what you just did, child? Houston, Texas is in the building. They on the board. Listen, if you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. You already know what it is. The VOR, Zoe Williams, Voice of Reason, KBLA Talk 1580. You already know what we do. When we come forward, guess who we talking to? Cali Soul from Denver, Colorado. Let's get it. Yo, this was a hot-ass topic. Compatibility is not congruence. Why shared goals aren't the same as shared souls. Compatibility versus soul connection. Hustle culture relationships, spiritual congruence, capitalist dating traps. Man.
What is the right relationship to money? If you haven't given them no relationship to money, like the speaker is very simple. But to be serious, what is right relationship to money? When it has money, becomes very important. This is also important. We are not verificable or laying down the law and telling what you should.
I wish we could have played Murty earlier. My goodness. Because, you know, he was about to cut all the way up. But we got one of our favorites on the line, Callie Soul from Denver, Colorado. Callie, what are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Oh, I love tonight's topic. The only thing is, I think you should play all of the Disney love songs.
The Disney love sons. No.
Oh, yeah. They lied to us. I think it would have got on people's nerves, but they would have got it.
If we'd have put on the Disney fire, come on.
Oh, yeah, Whole New World, all that foolishness. Beauty and the Beast. Like, they were all stories of women that, you know, were lower class, that aspired to be with a man that was of higher class and, you know, do whatever they had to do to endure whatever they had to endure, you know, to get to that castle on top of the hill. You think about this situation with Cassie and Diddy, like that was one of the things she said, like, well, who else was I supposed to choose? Jay-Z was taken. Well, why you want
Wait,
him
she
like
said that?
Because she did.
Those were her words? Jay-Z was taken?
Yeah, one of her best friends, that was what she like, that was a part of her testimony, you know.
In the name of green eggs and ham. What in the world?
She wanted that lifestyle. She was willing to do whatever she had to do to get that lifestyle until she wasn't no more. Right? But you remember back in the day, the seasoned folks would say, oh, they want my glory, but they don't know my story.
Ooh, come on, seasoned folks. Come on, these ain't salt and pepper chefs. Come on, seasoned folks. I like that. Go ahead.
And they were talking about, oh yeah, you know, they try to keep up with the Joneses. And what I always drew from that was like, yeah, the journey is all the in-between. And that's the work.
Yeah.
The journey is the work is the journey. So like fast forward to today, we're throwing everything in the microwave. We look at the way social media pans out, even our entertainment. They're not necessarily trying to show the in-between and the journey.
Right.
They're like, oh no, this is what the finished product looks like.
Right.
And then here we talk about, relationship goals. And it's like, you better get that work. That is a power couple. Being able to move through your journey, be able to sit and meditate and pray and build. Build that way. That's a power couple. But, you know, a lot of people think that love is something that's material.
I love it. I love it. I love it, and I love you. Guess what you just did? You already know. Denver, Colorado in the house. A true power partner won't let you continue to pretend to be content. A true power partner is going to help you walk to the truth you've been trying to run from. Man, Callie Soul, listen, I got questions. If I stopped striving to earn love, would I recognize the difference between who I perform as and who I am? Could my pursuit of success obscure my capacity for intimacy more than my fear of vulnerability? Might my worth in relationship feel conditional only because I internalize the metrics of productivity and acquisition. How do I notice when my nervous system confuses being needed with being loved? Does the structure of my relationships mirror the workplace hierarchy I claim to rebel against? In what ways might my attachments resemble investments portfolios, diversified, strategic, and disembodied? Could the rush of new love feel indistinguishable from dopamine-fueled consumer euphoria? If I abandoned the identity that others value, who or what remains to be loved? Might the self I market be a trauma-adapted response to capitalism disguised as charisma? Listen, I just asked the tough questions. This is a Socratic process. I want you to think about it. Who are you? More importantly, why are you? Listen, I start the conversations. It's really up to you to finish them. I'm the VOR. This is episode 1. We'll be back tomorrow with episode 2. Stay tuned. The fire will continue. Great topic, great show today. Appreciate each and every one of y'all for popping in, showing love. Love y'all. Deuces.